So I welcome Dr. Manu Vora, and please present your deliberations.
Okay. So thank you, Surya ji. Congratulations to Dr. Sushila Singh ji for a very wonderful program put together at the International BHU Alumni Meet. Distinguished speakers on the panelist, Professor B.N. Tripathi, Professor A.K. Tripathi, sorry, Professor B.K. Tripathi, Professor A.K. Tripathi, Professor T.N. Singh ji, and all other alumni, and Dr. Dhirendra Rai ji. Very great, warm welcome and greetings from very frigid Chicago. And my topic today is about World University Ranking for BHU. So let me begin to share my presentation. And my point is that I want to expand upon what Professor A.K. Tripathi ji just mentioned and try to elaborate on some of the key points where we can benefit as an institute to become the best in India and in the world. So let me share my presentation at this point. I'm going to begin with the what is the importance of institute ranking versus the branding, and then share with you high level ranking results for BHU from the Times Higher Education World University Rankings and the National Institutional Ranking Framework score from Ministry of Education. And main thing is I would like to present some specific recommendations for better ranking for BHU as we go forward, described in a short-term actions, medium-term actions, and long-term actions, and summarize the presentation. And these recommendations are coming from my 36 years of managing several change management initiatives globally. So let's begin with the foundation. The institute branding rests on four pillars. The first pillar is outstanding faculty, where we heard from the Honorable Vice Chancellor yesterday, Dr. Bhatnagar ji, that tremendous effort is being made to inculcate best faculty and bring them on board at BHU. So that's a wonderful effort. We need to continue doing more in that area. If we have the outstanding faculty, they will attract the best students to come and study under their tutelage. Now we need the administration, which is open, supportive, and forward-looking. And then the fourth leg or the fourth pillar of success for the branding is the accomplished alumni from around the world. And my observation for most of the Indian institutes, the alumni are neglected. Now, compared to that, here in the West, they put the alumni on the pedestal. They are sorely being missed in most of the institute. The Alumni Connective program and the International Alumni Cell is doing wonderful work. As Professor A.K. Tripathi ji mentioned, we need to more and accelerate the progress in this area. So in essence, the institute brand should be the focus. The ranking should become the byproduct. We need to focus on the leading indicators on faculty, students, administration, and alumni. If we do these four things well, then ranking should take care of itself as a byproduct. So let's not focus on the numbers. Let's focus on the underlying things we need to do as a BHU to be the best in the world. Now, these next two slides are a little bit busy, so I'll give you some highlights of where we stand as BHU. The first one is the Times Higher Education World University Ranking, where we fall in the 601 to 800 band for the last 4 years, and the new data should be coming out in a couple of months. So the good news is in 2021, out of 33 institutes in India in the top 1,000 world ranking, Our number for BHU is number 4, so we have progressed. So that's a good news. So we need to celebrate that. Now, if we look across, there are 5 categories: teaching, research, citations, industry income, and international outlook. So 2 categories where things have improved: citations and international outlook. So that's again a good news for BHU. Only issues are we need to tackle on the teaching, research, and industry income side. So we all need to reflect upon how can we do better work in those areas. And I can tell you that if we include the alumni, they can help in getting the best teachers from around the world. And when we have the great teachers working at BHU, they can improve the research scores, which will again fuel the more citations. The alumni who are established in the industry can help in getting more consulting programs and the projects. And the international outlook, the alumni who are scattered all over the world from BHU can connect with the top world-class institutes and encourage the faculty and students to come on a sabbatical and help us at BHU. So learning is alumni should be engaged more. Now, the National Institutional Ranking Framework from the Ministry of Education, we have 4 years of data, and the new data should be coming in very shortly in about a couple of months. If we look at the overall, BHU stands at number 3 across the universities within India. Now the overall rank again is we stand at number 10 out of top 100 educational institutes. So focusing on 2020, teaching, learning and resources, we have done well and we can do more. Outreach and inclusivity, we have done well compared to previous years, and peer perception is improving. The 2 areas of concern are the research and professional practice, and more importantly, the graduation outcomes are declining almost 8 to 9% compared to 2017. So a concerted effort should be made. Why students are not graduating? What is holding them back? So these are the data which is just the allows us to focus on the critical things and allow us to take the appropriate action. And if I may suggest that for each of these areas, if we have a unique combination of expert and willing faculty from BHU coupled with the expert alumni from around the world, we can do wonderful things to accelerate the progress in terms of addressing these issues as a leading indicators, which will reflect on the better branding and better score at the World University Ranking and NIRF score also from the Ministry of Education. So let's look at what Albert Einstein told us. Education is not the learning of facts, but it's the training of the mind to think. So that should be the singular focus for all the faculty at BHU, that encourage our students to think, challenge them, give them all the resources, but don't give them the solution. Now, I'm very happy and honored to share with you that over the last 36 years, I had the occasion to lead or coach 15 change management journeys, including 1 in education sector, 2 in government sector, Egypt and Turkey, 8 projects in corporate, 2 in professional sector, and 2 in non-profit area, including the Blind Foundation for India, where over the 32 years we have raised 5 million US dollars supporting 20 lakh people in India for free eyesight checkup, adults and children. Now, there is a Baldrige Performance Excellence Framework in education. I've been involved with it since 1989 in the corporate as well as in the education sector. I'll mention briefly about the use of that as a self-assessment tool at BHU in the longer term goal and recommendation. And keep in mind that any of these initiatives we undertake, whether it's National Education Policy 2020 implementation or improving the World University ranking, it all requires the backbone of project management. If we can do projects well in the chartered areas, in the focus area, we will have better results. And along with the project management, risk management goes hand in hand. And I'm very delighted to mention, as Professor B.K. Tripathi mentioned about Northwestern, I've been teaching project management since 2008 at the Northwestern University and developed program in both project management and risk management. One was delivered in project management in 2016 at IIT BHU under Gyan program by MHRD, and risk management in 2018 at IIT BHU under the Fulbright Specialist Project. And I'll be delighted to help in the BHU Institute of Eminence project. And incidentally, I had a half an hour meeting with our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Bhatnagarji, January 21, 2019. During the Pravasi Diyas, I was in BHU and in Varanasi. We had a wonderful discussion. We had two topics to discuss. One was Institute of Eminence, and second, the importance of soft skill for our students. And I would also add for the faculty. And of course, for whatever reason, the engagement is not fully done. I would love to provide my resources, and keep in mind that all the alumni around the world are willing to give their time, talent, their energy, and treasure as appropriate without any expectation from BHU. We just wants to give back, provided there is a clear pathway how to engage our alumni. So I'll quickly run through a few suggestions for better ranking. Short-term actions this year, I think we should resolve to engage alumni and industry experts in the IOE project who can help with helping in the upgradation of curriculum, which is part of the NEP 2020. They bring in resources, help in the placement. They can also help in the governance. We need to leverage their expertise, experience, knowledge, and wisdom. We need to strengthen the strategic planning process for the Institute of Eminence project by creating a singular vision, the mission, the values, goals, and objectives for the IOE. And most importantly, we need to excite the entire BHU community by communicating the mission critical IOE project by creating awareness, excitement, and sense of ownership, not the few committees working on things that nobody else knows. We need to engage the entire BHU community, including the alumni. To make it simple, to get the best information, data and the information, create automated data collection portal so that the right information from all different directions are coming in, they are vetted, and the right data collected provides the best information so that it will lead to better reporting as well as good overall world university ranking and NIRF score. So last one, we need to hold all stakeholders who are involved in this project accountable for results through rigorous reviews on a quarterly basis. Medium term, for the next 2 years, 2022-2023, we can begin to look at internal pockets of excellence, that is the internal benchmarking, learning from the best of the best. And I've been very fortunate to learn some of these techniques at AT&T Bell Labs, where I spent 17 and a half years and led several divisions in establishing great practices for quality improvement, quality management. And whatever we learn from the internal pockets of excellence, we need to make it a standard practice for all different schools within BHU. conduct external benchmarking with the top Indian education institute. And as we all know, on all rankings in India, Indian Institute of Science is the beacon, always standing number one. So we can learn from them what good practices they have. Let's borrow those good practices by learning from them through our alumni if they are working there, doing secondary, tertiary research, as well as having primary research to go there and learn specific practices which makes them number one. And those best practices should be adopted within BHU. And we should not have the everything has to be done at BHU. No, we can learn from the best of the best and bring it in. Keep the open mind. And next step should be external benchmarking with the top world education institutes, including Oxford University and Stanford University, which in general comes in the top five. And same way, we identify their best practices and bring them in at BHU for adoption. Now, the very honored to be part of the NEP 2020 implementation plan committee from AICTE, working with the 9 vice chancellor, chairman of the board of governors. We have developed a simple path for short-term, medium-term, and long-term goals, which I shared yesterday. We need to accelerate its adoption. As Professor A.K. Tripathi mentioned, we should be the leaders in implementing NEP without waiting for anybody to tell us what to do. And same thing, hold all the IOE stakeholders accountable for results in the medium-term actions. So education is a passport to the future for tomorrow. For the tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. So education is a passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. And this is where NEP 2020 policy comes in. And implementation, the focus of the implementation plan committee is under 9 different heads, multidisciplinary, which has been talked about, equity and inclusion in higher education, research, innovation, better rankings, global outreach, motivated, energized, and capable faculty, integrated higher education system, better governance and regulation, promotion of Indian languages, arts, and culture, and integration of technology into the curriculum. Last item, the long-term actions, 2024-2025. I would humbly suggest, based on my experience using the Baldrige Excellence Framework in various sectors, it is a simple self-assessment guidelines which allows us to do quick review of where we have the areas of strengths and where we are falling down or having a gap, areas for improvements. We can have that discussion. I'll be happy to coach and guide the leadership there at BHU. Once we have identified those in a consensus basis, we prioritize and act on the area for improvement and create an implementation plan using project management as a backbone to address those opportunities for improvement, also known as OFEs. So focus should be have an execution discipline for the IOE project, not just the talk. Talk is cheap. We need to buckle down and have the focus on getting it done. The execution is more important, and hold everybody accountable for results with the rigorous review. So very briefly, I mentioned this yesterday, but for the new audience today, this framework has been established in 1987 with the Act of Congress in the US to spur the productivity and keep US in the forefront in the world. 7 categories: leadership, like an engine, and 6 other categories: strategic planning, customer focus, measurement analysis, knowledge management, workforce focus, and operations focus, leading to results. And this is a non-prescriptive framework which is applicable to education, healthcare, government, corporate, all different domains can make use of it. So in summary, the Institute of Eminence project at BHU is a transformation journey. It's like going to the Mount Everest. It will require a laser sharp focus on a wartime footing. We need to empower all stakeholders for the successful journey. And most important thing is to invite alumni and industry experts for their contributions. By harnessing their expertise, experience, knowledge, and wisdom for have a successful IOE journey to become the best in the world. The people who are involved in this needs relevant training and adopt the global best practices from around the world and bring it at BHU. Very important to have execution discipline for this project and accountability of all the people to achieve sustainable results. So in closing, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest, Benjamin Franklin. So with that, I'll stop sharing, and it's my great honor to be part of this international BHU alumni meet. And I'm very thankful to Dr. Sushila Singh ji and Dr. Surya Singh ji for their kind invitation to be part of this gathering. Thank you.